Good morning. I bought my first investment property through traditional lending, and the plans was to do Airbnb with it because it's in a great location, downtown area, walking distance to major shows, events, restaurant, shopping, all the hot spots. I want this to be a cash flow property as a Airbnb to be handled by a property management company. I want it to be hands-free so that I can start up a business and acquire more properties in the future with OPM. This cash flow would replace my income so that I can retire in the near future. My question is, what type of insurance do I need for this Airbnb property? And is there any additional information or advice that I need to be aware of? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Gloria. I am not an Airbnb expert. I've done it a few times with a few properties of ours and realized pretty quickly that it's a whole other world than what I do. I'm a long-term rental guy. Now, there's nothing wrong with either of these strategies. I've just found, and you're asking the right question, because I absolutely do not want to have this become like something where I'm actively involved in any of my properties. And if you're an Airbnb owner, absolutely is the case that you could slip down that slope very quickly into becoming very, very hands-on with it. And again, you have to ask yourself the question, and there's nothing wrong with that. There are people on YouTube and other places that are very hands-on with their Airbnb rentals, and that's what they want to do. They want to spend their time doing that. I absolutely do not. There are other things I want to do in my life, and it sounds like you are the same way. You want this to be passive income. Let me just explain, though, there is no such thing as passive income, right? You're always going to have to be involved in some regard, right? Nurturing your portfolio and making sure that your property management team is on top of things, right? Elon Musk doesn't just run Tesla and SpaceX as passive income. Like, he's there actively every day. If you're running a business, you got to run the business, right? So the income, yes, will be coming in passively mostly, but you still have to be pretty active. I mean, make no mistake about it. You still have to be active. You still have to be looking at your portfolio, filing your taxes, looking every month to make sure that you don't have mistakes or problems or holes in your portfolio and issues with tenant damage and things like that. These are things you're going to have to take care of. So yes, yes, the cash flow, you're not working for it every day, but at the end of the day, it still requires some action from you. Now, the question is, how can you minimize the amount of time that you're spending on that business, right? And how can you run a smarter business? And what's the old saying, of course, working on the business instead of in the business. So now there are ways to go about this, and I'd recommend Airbnb Automated is a YouTube channel, and he walks you through that process over there. I would check him out. I think his name is Sean, and go through that process and sort of like how to become a Airbnb host and to set your property up for success. There are people that will charge all kinds of money for different courses and stuff like that. You don't have to do that. Like, it's all free. All that information is out there if that's the road you want to go. To have a property that's in a vacation spot like that and where it's being turned over regularly. As I mentioned before here on the show, to do it correctly, there are little touches, little things that will set you apart as a super host, as opposed to just a regular host. So becoming like a super host allows you all sorts of additional things, right? By doing little touches and things. So like I mentioned before, having a bottle of wine with cookies or fresh baked goods or something every time a new tenant checks in. And all of those little touches can be facilitated and automated if you have the right team in place. So you don't have to be buying the fresh baked goods. You don't have to be placing the bottle of wine, all of those things, right? You can have that totally automated. and have that be part of the process. I think the thing where people will say, hey, Airbnb didn't work for me, it's because they were trying to do all of these little things. They were overpaying for things. Instead of buying IKEA plates, they're buying more expensive plates that get broken, because that's what's going to happen. These plates will get broken, right? Especially if you have this kind of tenant turnover. So there are a lot of things to think about, but you want to do it correctly where you are as much as possible automating this process, and really treating it as a business. So I would check out his podcast, and there are plenty of books on this process as well, on how to do it correctly on Airbnb. I am not an Airbnb person. Okay. I am a long-term rental person. That's been where I've had great success. And so I just don't chase shiny object stuff. I've done it on a few properties, realized that we were not cut out to do it, and was very self-aware about that, and stick to my guns. This is why I don't do 100-unit apartment complexes. I do single families and duplexes, and I do them for long-term rentals, and I don't really have to put much time, attention, and effort into them at all. So that's my advice. I wish I had more advice for you on the Airbnb front. But again, I'll link it up below here to check out. I think his name is Sean. He and I have communicated over the years. He's a good guy. So I would check out his information if you're interested in that. I believe in what he does, and I think he's a stand-up guy. So you shouldn't have to pay for any of this stuff. Like, he teaches all of it for free. So I would check that out. Book a call with us. You can go to morrisinvest.com if you're ready to take that real estate investing journey. We're happy to jump on the phone with you for 30 minutes for free and map out your financial freedom roadmap, and then point you in the right direction. So just go to our website, morrisinvest.com, and you can click on the little voicemail button down there on the right-hand side of your screen too, so you can leave us a 30-second voicemail here on the show, and we will attempt to answer it next time. Now go out there, everyone. Take action. Become a real estate investor. I believe it's the #1 way to build wealth. We'll see you next time.